Bristol City FC, CSF City Service Firm. That was a real low-class move you pulled, pal. All right, what you done? 10:30 a.m. in front of Weatherspoons, Prince of Wales, and Cardiff. Oh, it's no one in the stadium. Why don't you turn up in the Canton? Let me teach you guys something about how a proper English football hooligan firm, a top firm, behaves, all right? From the book Soul Crew by Tony Lake, and I'm not talking about Cardiff Soul Crew, all right? Their name and their reputation as one of the top firms of all time, if not the top UK firm of all time, remains in place. Now, who I'm talking about is another firm that many rate as one of the best of all time, you understand? BORO FRONTLINE, understand? Middlesbrough FC. And in the passage where it talks about the BORO FRONTLINE, chapter is called The Road to Wembley, page 141, said the third round draw brought a tie with Middlesbrough. They were then in the first division, so it wasn't quite the financial bonanza it would be now, but many lads couldn't wait. Middlesbrough had a reputation as one of the best firms in England, and I knew they would make Cardiff a big game. Others knew the same. Word went around that these Borough don't mess around, and we'd be trying to drink in our pubs. We would need a serious turnout to match them, and that's coming from Cardiff, one of the biggest firms of all time. On the day of the game, a car full of us drove through Westgate Street just after 11 a.m. I was with the Diablo lads. We saw Mark H and flagged him over. He came jogging up. They're fucking here already, he said. They were in the Albert pub near the station. We drove off the park, and when passing the pub, we saw there were bodies everywhere, upstairs and down. They must have left the northeast pretty fucking early. We found out they had left at 4 a.m. This is what I meant when I said we knew they had a serious firm. We parked up and walked past the pub. They had two lads stood in the doorway of the pub who saw us and smiled as we walked past. I looked back, and no one was still grinning at me and nodding. And one was still grinning at me and nodding. Now to conclude, we went into downtown after a while, and Cardiff started milling around. Johnny of the Docks went into the pub to speak to the Borough and returned to tell us they had well over 100 and were proper. They were a real firm who did things right. They made sure that we knew where they were, but kept quiet about it, not making a fuss, just waiting for us to get a firm big enough to have a crack. This is why they've got tons of respect in the hooligan netherworld. If there had been Swansea, as soon as they got us to train, they would have been singing Jack Army and started on any Cardiff fan and basically caused a big commotion before they got near our lads. Insert Bristol City CSF did exactly what they're saying that the Jacks would do. Now, on the other hand, as I alluded to, I saw these things popping off online. Nobody told me directly. I see it. But before that, I reasoned maybe this is supposed to be a get back. But what kind of get back is this? I seen OG Soul Crew lads. They played over there at Bristol City, and they either way. I don't know if I think it was City. It could have been Rovers, but either way, they turned up in Bristol, 30 lads or whatever. I seen the picture. Top boys, top lads, OGs. They didn't go out there causing a commotion, just like the Borough. They turned up, have a drink, have a mooch, have a look. People knew they was there, you feel me? If we wanted to do something, could have done something. And then these Bristol City, and first and foremost, I respect all football hooligans. I respect all British football hooligan firms. Anybody who's had a go at it and made the name. If Bristol City was nothing, and Bristol City CSF, if I had no respect for, I wouldn't even be bringing it up. You understand? Now, as far as where they belong in the hierarchy, as it were, of firms of all time and in history, maybe they try to make a name for themselves now. But as far as I'm concerned, two ways to do it. All right, from an outside perspective, as it were, subjective. Respect to all parties involved. But either you do it like that, like you hear the BORO done it, turn up in the pub and have some boys, wearing your stuff and on talk. Why make a big commotion? There's plenty of places to go. Or turn up in Canton, bro. Everybody knows where the two Soul Crew pubs are. I've been there loads of times. They take loads of pictures. Not a secret. Go do that. If you have that mob that's well up for it, that you act like you want to portray on social media, then it done fuck all. If you got that sort of feeling in you and you got that kind of energy, CSF, go do it in Canton, bro. Huh, go do it there. Go do it at their pubs where all boys are. But what you done is despicable. And I've got zero respect for your actions. And maybe that was just the Bristol City youth, and that wasn't the real CSF, but they were chanting it, baby. So, CSF, City Service Firm, you got a lot to learn. You can start by reading this book here, Daddy.